Right, we're going to start off now. We've got our level, we've got everything we need. Now we need to make some scripts. So I'm going to right click, create, and C# script. I'm going to call this the level tilt. Let me spell that right. Tilt controller. And just go and wait for it to load a little bit. Okay, I'm going to double click. And I can get my little script up here. Okay, so this is what my script's looking like right now. I'm going to zoom in. So I've got my start and my update. Now with scripting, at the top we can set our parameters. So we can set like the little things we want to use. So I'm going to set something called public float. And I'm going to call it tilt speed. And it's going to equal, let's just do 5 for now. And this is basically going to be the speed the level will tilt. And that's basically, a float is any kind of number where you can do like a 0.2, a 0.5. It's something that's not a fixed number, so it's quite good for speeds and different measurements. Now we've got that, we can get rid of the start in this script because we won't be using it because we'll constantly want to update. So start is only used if you want it to start as soon as you load up that script. Update is for constantly updating. So I'm going to create some floats here called tilt x, and I'm going to call it input. I'm going to call it input dot get axes. Now this is basically so we can get kind of the angle we're going for. So we're going to get axes, and because we're doing tilt x, we will do vertical. And then after this, we just need to times it. So we use a little asterisk times tilt speed. So that should give you an idea of like, oh, the float is going to be whatever, how much we're moving times by the speed that we've set up here. And luckily for us, to save us some time, we're going to do the same for the z-axis. But what we're going to do here is we're just going to change that to z, and we're going to go horizontal. And that's starting to get our float. Now these are two different like floats that we can use, but we just need one more line of code to get it going. So this, I'm going to put 2 backspace just to get a comment in. Tilt the level. Now comments won't get picked up by a script, it's not being read by the system to make the code work, so these are really good to leave around just so you got an idea of where you are and what you've been doing. So I'm going to do transform dot rotation equals, and we're going to use this long word, and this basically relates all to rotation. It's very complicated. It will take some time to get understanding of all these. I don't really fully know them myself, but I have slowly realised why they're useful. But if you click on them, this says are representing rotations, and if we click on this, returns a rotation that rotates the z degrees around the z degrees, x degrees around the x-axis, and stuff like that. So it gives you a bit of a breakdown of all it is. But basically this is going to rotate our x and z. So we don't want to rotate the y because then it'll be going ridiculous and we can't control it. We just want the x and z. So that's all we need for that. So if I'm going to minimize that, and it will update the engine. And if I go to my level parent, I'm going to drag this in and drop it in. And if I press play now, what you should have is if you use WASD, it should move. It's looking very good, isn't it? So what we're going to do there is we're going to save that, and say if we don't want to move the goal, so say we want the goal to be separate. If we press play again, we are now moving everything separate. And we can slowly get the ball down, and then ta-da, it's going to drop in perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this down slightly just so there's enough of a drop for the player ball. So if I press play again, it should properly drop down and it shouldn't get stuck or anything like that. And if you move quite suddenly with it, you can see it like jolts about, but that's absolutely fine. But right, we've got our game now, everything's working the way we want. Now we need to focus on making our player ball camera follow the player ball, so then the player can see where it is.